What is up, Heroclix family? Welcome back to Power Action Clicks. I'm DK, and today I just wanted to take a look at what I like to call the Infinity God Pack from Collector's Trove, the Infinity Gauntlet God Pack. I had pulled this at our first pre-release, which was really cool, and it has a really great pull rate. I've seen a lot of people pull this God Pack, so it's driven the cost of some of these figures down pretty decent as far as chases are concerned. I have got to field test these, and I've never actually pulled a God Pack, and I've never made a video about one, so I definitely wanted to get this here on the channel. This has been a really fun set. I liked getting Guardians in this set, and it's been a lot of fun drafting. And let's take a look at some of the figures, starting with Gamora. We all know Gamora. She's actually pretty decent. I like running her at 50 points for Guardians, maybe in Pulp. She has stealth, willpower. She has the team player ability. When she's occupying hindering terrain, she may re-roll a single D6 she rolled. And then she has her Blades, Claws, Fangs, and if she rolls a 1 through 3 after resolutions, heal her 2 clicks. And yeah, I think I like her at the 50-point starting line. She's got that Battle Fury. She does have 2 targets. And that's pretty much it for her. Black Panther. He actually is, pretty good. He has the wielding the Infinity Gauntlet, so he gets to start with 3 Infinity Gem one-shots. He has Power Cosmic, of course, and the Wakanda team ability, so got to make the most use out of that stealth. Then he has the Force Blast and Pulse Wave attack power, and his Stop Click, and it ends with us, Stop Click, Impervious, Super Senses. The first time this click is revealed for the rest of the game, Black Panther has, once per turn, you may re-roll one of his single D6 rolls. I think he's actually pretty good. I like him. I played him at 125, and I did have fun playing him. You got to remember all this stuff he has, like that free once a turn reroll. You got to use the stealth to your advantage and think about what Infinity Gems you're using with him. He does have the 4 range, dual targeting, running shot. All these guys have flying, except Gamora. And he does have invincible and prob. Having so much prob, I just ran a team with Deadpool, Loki, and Black Panther, and they all had prob. Being able to re-roll 3 times a turn was pretty awesome. You could, if you wanted to, run him at 50 points. He's not bad for 50 points. He's going to have that hypersonic, impervious, shape change. So he has a little bit of survivability. And nothing on the back of the card. And then we have Deadpool, which is actually probably one of my favorite in this pack. I don't know why. I suppose it's just because he's 70 points. I like that about him. And then he has all these little interesting things about him. So he is Deadpool Corp, Weapon X, X-Force, Assassin, and Cosmic. Some good keywords. He does have the gauntlet-wielding Jokester. And you can add those 3 Infinity Gem one-shots. And then when Deadpool rolls a D6 on a single D6 roll, after resolutions, you may turn a friendly face-down Infinity Gem one-shot face-up. So you can just keep reusing these one-shots like that, which is pretty great with him. He does have the 5 range and dual targeting. He's got running shot, precision strike, toughness, and probability control. And I like that he has that 4 damage at the top of the dial, and that precision strike did come in handy sometimes, being a ranged piece. And he's a little bit squishy, and he does have that stop click, which gives him a little bit more survivability. And like I said, I do like him being 70 points. And of course, he's Power Cosmic. And then he has his Destroying the Mad Titan, Blades, Claws, Fangs. When Deadpool uses it, if there are 2 or more face-down Infinity one-shots on your sideline, he may Instead, roll 2d6 and choose one of the best results, which is actually really cool. I like that ability for him. The defense power, sacrifice a stone to save myself, stop impervious, free, turn a friendly face up, one shot, face down without using its effect. If you do, roll a d6 and heal Deadpool equal to the result, which is actually pretty sweet. For a stop click, you might be able to heal yourself almost all the way back up. And of course he's cosmic, and he's, like I said, flying. I like that about him. And he's a shooting, running shot, dual targeting with 5 range. He could carry somebody. He's got prob, and he's got all those little abilities with him. I think he's actually might be one of my favorite, if not second favorite, of these pieces. Pretty fun sculpt. Mine does have like a little bit of I don't know what that is on his chin. Black stuff. And next, let's take a look at Loki. He's definitely one of the most, I'd say one of the most interesting pieces here, maybe even in the set. Just some really interesting stuff going on with him. I can't remember if you can have Chthon and Gaia attached to him, but I mean, there's definitely some interesting things now that you could do with him. And then we have more. We know we have more Asgardians coming in the future, so there could be some more interesting stuff in the future for him. And he does have power cosmic, mystical, Asgardians, warp world. I didn't realize he had warp world. His young Avengers, cosmic, deity, and mystical. And then his trait. So gems are a god's best friend. During force construction, Loki costs 30 points for each gem token you give him, minimum 1, maximum 6. For each gem token given, you may add an infinity gem one shot to your sideline without paying its cost. When Loki takes damage from an opposing effect or knockback damage, after resolutions, remove a gem token from him. When the last gem token is removed, KO Loki. Protected Pulse Wave. What I did find I liked with him is I'd run him at 90 points, give him 3 of the gems, so they're going to have to hit him 3 times. You might want to keep him a little bit of a range, and there's definitely some different stuff you could do with that. Gaia can give him, so all lines to him are blocked, and Chthon can give him another damage. And him taking clicks of damage isn't going to do anything to him. It's just gonna make him start back up at the dial. He's just gonna never-ending go up and down the dial. Then he also makes himself take clicks of damage, which I think is on the back. He does have 6 range, triple targeting, flying. He does have phasing energy, telekinesis, and prob at the front. I like that. And then you're going to have to kind of be smart with where you want him to land, because it's such a mixed bag here. And then let's see his traded ability. Still the Trickster, shape change, super senses, again giving him some more survivability. You don't have to take those gem tokens off him if they miss. Safeguard, poison. At the beginning of your turn, roll a d6 and deal Loki that much unavoidable damage. So yeah, you're going to be dealing him some massive damage, especially, like I said, if you have Gaia or Chthon on him. You could also make use of the Darkhold like that, the Darkhold one-shots, because they deal damage and heal another character. So you could just give it to Loki to heal somebody else. And overall, I think he's just a really interesting piece. Like I said, I was playing him at 90 and giving him 3 tokens, and I found that pretty good, really. And he could kind of be, all this different stuff for this team. He could TK. So I was running Black Panther, Loki, and Deadpool on a team together. Black Panther at 125, Deadpool at 70, and Loki at 90, which gives you I think it's 40 more points. You could throw some equipment, or whatever else in there. You could possibly throw let's see, anything that's going to help this team out. Maybe try and stick with a theme. I think I just used it all on equipment. Or you could even give Loki another gem. And then we have the Mad Titan himself at the end. This is a really cool Thanos. I believe I was reading the article that WizKids put out the other day, and part of the inspiration behind him is, I think this is right after he collects all the Infinity Gems and he hasn't used them yet. And that's why he has the gauntlet is complete. This is right after, this figure is representing the first time, like right before the snap. In the previous comic book series, he had collected everything, and I think it was in the Silver Surfer. And then we come into, is it the Infinity Gauntlet? And that's when I believe the snap's going to happen. Or it might have actually happened at the end of Silver Surfer. I can't remember off the top of my head. He looks a little more intimidating, but at his top dial, I didn't find him to be that good. So he does have Black Order, Eternal, Minions of Thanos, Cosmic, Deity, Monster, Ruler, and Scientists. Those are all some really good keywords, at least. And then he's one of the few who can have 6 one-shots to your sideline without paying their cost, because he has the Gauntlet complete, like I said, representing that comic book. When Thanos clears action tokens, you may turn a friendly face-down one-shot face-up. So he can just keep, when you're clearing the action tokens, you just keep turning them face-up. Your opponent doesn't score them when they go face-down. They score them if they're face-down at the end of the game. So there's, a good chance the game might end and they don't score anything because they're all face-up. And then we have Thanos Quest, another traded ability. Thanos can use powers printed on his previous clicks, as noted on his character card. That's a really good trait. You got to remember that he does have, if he's at the end of his dial, he has Energy Shield, he has Invincible, he has Outwit, he has Probability Control. So that's really good about him. You could try and make him go a little further down his dial with using, other certain things like the Darkhold or something, but he is a solid 300 points himself, kind of a one-man army. He has improved targeting hindering, he can blast through walls, he can attack out of adjacency. He has 7 range and triple targeting, which is pretty good. Of course, flying, running shot, energy explosion, invincible, probability control. And then he gets, outwit, energy shield, precision strike, plasticity, steal energy, regeneration, shape change, all that stuff, giving him, a little more survivability. And then he has Reap, is that his third trait? 3 traits, this guy. When Thanos KOs an opposing character of 30 points or less, score 10 victory points. I think that only came into play for me maybe once or twice. I did get an extra 10. And as you can see, he's kind of inspired by the Infinity Gauntlet #1, which I might actually do a video about that just for fun. So he's more intimidating. Once he gets to that end of the dial, he's going to have a 20 defense with Energy Shield, Invincible, Prob, Outwit, and Shape Change, which is, it's going to be hard to kill, but he does have no stop clicks. If people can find a way to get through him, it's going to be pretty quick for him, I imagine. But he's still tough. Most of the time when I played him, people are almost just too scared to try to fight him, and they kind of went the other way. The last thing I did want to talk about here is Infinity Gems. So let's start with which ones I think are the best, or in my opinion. I think the ones that mine came with were actually the Space Gem, and the reality gem that came with this god pack. But my favorite are actually the mind gem. When an opposing character is hit after resolutions, you may choose a power that character can use. That character can't use that power until your next turn. So you can see how that could be useful. You run, with Loki, you can run a ton of these, or with Thanos, or anybody really. Then I actually think Soul Gem is really good. When an opposing character is KO'd after resolutions, you may heal a friendly character 2 clicks. Healing always is going to come in handy like that. And then third, I would definitely say Power Gem. I like being able to get that kind of improved critical hit here. When a friendly character attacks and the finalized attack roll is 10 or higher, you may have that attack roll become a critical hit. So kind of like a Brotherhood team ability or something. Yeah, those are my top 3. Then there's also the Time Gem. When an opposing character clears, you may remove an action token from a friendly character. That one's pretty decent too. Then there's the Reality Gem. When an opposing effect would generate 1 or more terrain markers, you may roll a d6. 1 through 3 after resolutions, remove up to 2 of the generated terrain markers from the game. There's a lot of that going on, and there's going to be a lot more of that in the future, especially with Smash and Destroy. I imagine I won't be surprised if there's a lot of interesting terrain or characters that can break down walls and stuff like that. And then it says 4 through 6, you choose the squares those terrain markers are generated in. So you could kind of use that against like Kong or something. Not too bad. And then lastly, we have Space Gem. When an opposing character is hit with a close attack, you may immediately place them up to 4 squares away from their current square, which actually can come in handy. One time I did use this to slingshot one of my opponents backward so I could get him better into a place where I could hit him with other figures, and it came in pretty clutch actually. And that about wraps it up for this video. Like I said, it was really cool getting this God pack, and I definitely wanted to put it on the channel. And I think Collector's Trove has been pretty fun so far. And I hope to have some more videos out. I'm kind of going at a pretty casual pace right now. But I do want to try and start doing weekly videos, and I hope to get back into my comic book videos soon. And I believe next week I'm going to do a couple team builds, and I have some other stuff coming up. So don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll catch you on the next video.